Hey guys, back at PAX East. I'm here with Bob talking about Refactor, game we just got to try. It's described as Tetroidvania, which I think is a hilarious take on if you guys have ever played Metroidvania style games. We covered Axiom Verge last year, very fun. This is a unique take on it. You want to tell us about the twist of how Refactor is played?
Sure. So, as a Tetroidvania, naturally it's a mashup of like a falling block with a Metroidvania. Sort of the standard description would be like you play as a Tetromino, like a Tetris piece that as you go and explore through the world, you get different shapes, you have different powers, that opens up more of the world. Though we kind of went crazy and we decided, hey, why don't we just build the map out of Tetrominos and then let the players rearrange the map? So the big kind of core mechanic of the game is that you can actually kind of build your own path through the game. And it's completely open, so if you want to try to find some edge of the world you want to go to, you can just build a path up there, and it's all done real time, so as you rotate rooms and move things around, it's all reacting to what you do in the game. So it's kind of a weird meta puzzle platformer, I guess is the way to describe it.
Yeah, I saw that in the demo we got to play, you could like rotate the rooms, you could put them kind of wherever you want. It seems that, I guess as you go, you kind of collect more, well, not only just abilities, but more of the map, so you can do more things and say, oh, I couldn't get there before, I only had like 3 rooms I could connect, now I can get like 6 and get super far. So how big is it? Like, I know you were talking about far reaches, I don't know if you could say how big it is, but is that a question you can answer?
Yeah, certainly. So like the main design of the maps, it's kind of a spoke. So we have a core center world that's connected by 3 other worlds, and those ones are actually really large maps. Like they're like 14 by 14 or 16 by 16, and in there's anywhere between 12 and 20 rooms. So that's obviously that can be really intimidating when you go into a map and then have so many options. So we limit you to what you've been in. So when you first explore the room, you can get into the map. You can get like 1 or 2 rooms and use those to try to get to some other rooms, and then you can start using those to get to some more rooms. So it's kind of a way of like gating how far you can reach, and also keeping you sane, I guess. So ease you into having like more access to these larger areas. That's it.
And so there's kind of a interesting story mechanic of these, well, I guess one to 2, I don't know how many that we end up with, but blocks that are trying to, I guess, escape imperfection. I guess the imperfection is the people trying to melt them down, destroy them. Maybe we saw that a little bit in the demo too, of blocks literally getting destroyed. And so you're a rogue one. There's actually a pretty cool story to this. I don't know how rich and developed it is, but it sounds pretty interesting from the snippets.
Yeah, it's basically the story is that you're playing kind of like a game within a game. Like all the characters you're playing are actually puzzle pieces that are made for this sliding block, Tetromino-based puzzle game, and they come off of the factory line as imperfect. And since this world expects perfection, and there's no place for a 3-block character in this game, so they end up getting thrown to get recycled and destroyed. And so you kind of meet a crew of these misfit blocks. So several different characters that are all different, shapes that are some 5 blocks, some 2 blocks, some 1 block, some 3 blocks. And it's sort of the story about these guys and how they kind of trying to figure out where they fit in the world and sort of try to, start a revolution and get to overthrow the system that's been trying to get them destroyed to begin with. So you do play 2 characters that do pair up. So you do end up playing most of the game as kind of a 4-block combination, but there is there are parts that you would have 1 block versus 3 blocks. You would split up, and that narrative parts and kind of exploring more of the story and characters.
Do you get to like control both at the same time, or is there kind of like the like in some Vania games you get like a little like module that gets sent off and you only control that for a little bit? I think that might be a bit too crazy to control both at once, but
yeah, both at once would be a bit much, especially because we do such a strange kind of physics platforming going on. Just playing a single block characters feels very different compared to a 3-block character compared to a 4-block character. Like naturally they move very similar, but they platform very differently because you have a 3-block you can actually grab onto like ledges of things, since you couldn't really do that with like a single block. But for the most part, you play one or the other, or both at the same time. Like they're combined, because 2 at once would be a bit much.
Yeah, and probably I don't know how that control scheme would work in the slightest. So where can where can people get Refactor? And I know it's coming out. You said hopefully soon. What are the plans there?
So we're planning to launch hopefully at the end of summer. If we miss that window, it's going to be more like late January, early February. We are currently listed on Steam. You can't buy it on Steam yet, but you can find it on Steam. And that's going to be PC, Mac, Linux, as well as the Xbox One and PS4.
Okay, so if you want to add it to your wish list, guys, you can do that now. I think it'll let you know when it comes out. Bob, thank you so much.